I'll tell you something I never thought I'd say. I thought I left combat behind overseas. But that day, in the middle of a quiet suburban street, my training came roaring back like a fire I couldn't control. Because 3 men in fake police uniforms stormed my property pretending they were HOA law enforcement. And one of them slapped my wife. That was the moment their lives changed forever. Before I take you through the story, drop in the comments what country you're watching from. I want to see how far this travels. It began like any other morning. My wife, Sarah, stepped out to water the garden. The air was calm. The neighborhood silent until a black SUV rolled past our block. Once, then again, a third time. Finally, it pulled over. 3 men climbed out. Tactical vests. Shiny police patches. But Sarah noticed what I would have spotted too. No radios. Nylon belts with plastic holsters. Cosplay, not law enforcement. The tallest of the 3 swaggered into our yard. "Ma'am, HOA compliance inspection," he barked, waving a badge that looked like it belonged in a cereal box. Sarah's voice was steady. "Since when does the HOA hire police officers?" That's when the second man smirked. "We're not hired, lady. We are the law here." Sarah told them to leave trespassing. Was still a crime in this country last time I checked, but instead of backing off, the third one stepped forward, hand on his fake baton. When she pulled out her phone to record, he slapped it to the ground, and then he struck her across the face. I was in the garage with my old gear when I heard Sarah's cry. I bolted outside to see her clutching her cheek, while these clowns puffed their chests like they owned the place. I wasn't looking at neighbors anymore. I was looking at enemies. "You boys picked the wrong house," I told them. "You've got 5 seconds to explain who sent you." The tall one sneered. "HOA president told us you've been ignoring notices. We're here to make sure you comply. Comply! I've faced warlords, mercenaries, terrorists. A suburban poser with a fake badge didn't even register. I told Sarah to lock the door. She knew exactly what was about to happen. Touch my wife again. I said low enough for only them to hear, and you won't be walking out of here." They laughed, but it was thin laughter. Real cops have rules. Real cops identify themselves. These guys refused, which meant only one thing. They weren't just trespassers. They were felons impersonating officers. And in front of the whole block, I was done play nice. The short one fumbled with his toy handcuffs, threatening to arrest me. I snapped his wrist sideways until the cuffs clattered to the ground, then dropped him with a clean elbow strike to the jaw. Out cold! The second swung his baton. I sidestepped, caught his arm, and flipped him straight onto the concrete. The crack of impact made the neighbors gasp. Now only their leader was left, frozen, eyes wide. "You're assaulting officers?" he shouted. I stepped so close he could smell the steel in my breath. "No. I'm stopping criminals from assaulting my wife." Sarah reappeared at the door, phone recording. "Already called the sheriff," she yelled. The leader panicked, tried bolting for the SUV. Not a chance. I yanked him back and slammed him across the hood. By the time the real deputies arrived, 2 were groaning on the ground and the third was pinned under my knee. "Hands where we can see them," the deputies shouted. I raised mine and stepped back. Sarah pointed. "Those are the guys. They slapped me. They claim they're cops." The deputies ripped the vests off, plastic badges, dollar store gear, everything bagged as evidence. And then the truth spilled out. The ringleader cracked first. He admitted the unthinkable. The HOA president, Karen Ellis, had paid them cash to teach us a lesson. This wasn't just harassment. This was conspiracy. But Karen wasn't finished. By the end of the day, she filed a lawsuit against me, claimed I used excessive force, claimed her contractors were HOA security. My attorney read it and laughed. "This is a gift. We'll bury her with her own lies." Court day came. Karen sat smug in her blazer, whispering to her lawyer. Sarah held my hand, steady as stone. Their case collapsed. The second Sarah's video played on the big screen. Every word, every fake badge, every strike clear as daylight. The judge leaned back, unimpressed. These men are criminals, and you, Mrs. Ellis, hired them. Not only is your case dismissed, you're sanctioned for abuse of the legal system. My lawyer stood. Your Honor, we're filing a counterclaim. Conspiracy to commit assault, emotional distress, and HOA harassment. Karen's face drained of color. The gavel slammed. Not only was her case dead, she was ordered personally liable for damages. Her own board members walked out on her without a word. The 3 imposters. Held without bail, multiple felony charges. The sheriff shook my hand outside the courtroom. Good thing you kept your cool! You probably saved your wife from something worse. I looked at Sarah. Bruised cheek. Steady eyes. Karen thought fear could control us. Thought lies and hired muscle would make us kneel. Instead, she lost everything. That asks the story of how fake HOA cops tried to break my family and ended up broken themselves. If you want more stories where corrupt HOAs get exactly what they deserve, hit subscribe. The next one will make your blood boil.